I actually thought he threw the ball okay. He gave up 3 home runs up to the point where I taken him out of the game. It was right around that 90 pitch mark, and he was doing all that he could to keep us in the game. It was just we couldn't get anything going offensively. I felt like we were putting a lot of pressure on him to keep it where it was, to give us a chance. And we never really, the game had no flow to it. But I thought Merrill did a pretty good job of standing back out there and keeping us in the ballgame. I felt like 3-0. I thought that Joe Mantiply has been throwing the ball real good. It's a great matchup. All the information that I have and everything that's showing me statistically that Joe's going to get under a barrel and we're going to get back in the dugout down 3-0. There is no crystal ball, right? I wish there was. I'll be second guessing myself too, right? It's what we do. You just don't know that side of the puzzle. I think it was closer to 90 pitches. It's all right. Closer to 90 pitches, and I just felt like I was selling out to the Stott Mantiply matchup that we targeted as a very, very positive one, as coming out on our side. He just hit it in the right spot. It's a base hit. I'm not complaining about the base hit. It's a clean base hit. He did his job and then handed it off to the next guy, and that's where that momentum got pushed over the edge. It was 4 runs, and it was 7-0 2 batters later. But look, we could be playing on the moon. Everybody's talking about coming into this environment, and I don't care. Like, we got to play better baseball. Everybody's got to be better. You start with the manager, and then trickle all the way down through the entire team. We got to play Diamondback baseball. What we watched out there was not anything that we have done for a long period of time. So we got to regroup. We got to regroup the troops. We got to find a way to get it done. Yeah, Diamondback baseball is grinding out at-bats, having mature at-bats, driving up pitch counts, catching pop-ups, picking up the baseball. The pitching and defense goes hand in hand, and we find a way to score 5 runs or more and win a baseball game by just being a really smart, stubborn baseball team in all areas. I believe in our offense, and I said it last night, even though their starting pitcher last night and tonight, they were both outstanding. To get to where we got to go, we got to find a way to beat these guys. And if we get back around, they're gonna throw one more time. So I just felt like we were missing some pitches that were drivable. We were into some early count outs, and we got pitched to today. He was sequencing his pitches and keeping us off balance all day long. We had a plan. We definitely had a plan against him, but he made pitches and we couldn't counter. Yes and no. He was slide stepping every pitch to keep him there, and a little bit of what we talked about last night. I didn't want to run into an out. I want to be aggressive. It's definitely in our DNA, and we know how to do it. But he was slide stepping majority of the time, and we felt like when he does that, his stuff ticks down a little bit, but he was making quality pitches, and we were looking to take advantage of it from an offensive standpoint, knowing when we had somebody standing at first base, if it does tick down, that we could potentially get back into that slugging mentality, but we did not. I'd rather not talk about it because we'll probably see him again. He just looked like he was one step ahead of us today. We got to be a little bit better. Yeah, I think there's a combination of a couple things that we could do, and it just depends on where we're at in the lineup. It depends on who's on the bases, but they've been winning these games because they've been slugging. We have not been slugging the baseball. So yeah, I like slug. I love slug, and this team can't slug, and that gets back to a little bit of what I just mentioned to Nick. We got to be stubborn and not miss the pitch we're looking for, or wait for the pitch that we're looking for. So that's part of having a mature at bat, and we can slug. We got to find out how to beat you, and we can do it in a couple different ways. But obviously, slugging is one very key way to do it. I obviously, with you making that statement, I will definitely agree with you. It's like having a team full of 3-pointers, right, against somebody that can only shoot 2s. It happens quick and it builds up quickly, but we're built to beat you in a lot of different ways. We're built to compete. every single night in a lot of different ways. So whatever recipe we can order up, we're going to try and find a way. When it's working very well in every area, as we have seen through the course of the postseason, minus these 2 games, we can outpoint you or we can outslug you. It just hasn't been working either way. I don't think we've done that all year. I don't think we've had a situation like that all year. So I think our competitive focus, and those are the things that I've been talking about this past month, was lacking. We got to catch up, pop up. That's baseball 101, and that is absolutely unacceptable, more than unacceptable to me.